Oh, you sons of bitches. I was the only one online defending Gladiator 2. I saw the trailer, gave a review of it, said, you know what, this looks pretty damn cool. And what did the internet say? Unnecessary sequel, rap music in the trailer, oh, we don't need this, another soulless Hollywood pale comparison to the original. I defended it. I said, hey, let's give him a chance here, guys. Looks pretty good. Not saying it's going to be as good as the original, but we got Denzel. When was the last time we saw a bad Denzel movie? What? Out of Time? 20 years ago? And as I'm sitting there watching this movie, I was debating walking out and not finishing it. But I knew I had to because I wanted to give this review to you guys. Man, let's get into it. Now, the movie starts off with a very, very cool montage of the original movie. Nice little animations for it, just so you know what's going on. Now, I can't read French or whatever the hell this language here is on screen, though, but I'll summarize it for you. It talks about how Rome is in chaos now. Emperors are tyrannical dictators and blah, blah, blah. Didn't, this get solved in the first movie? After Joaquin Phoenix died in the arena? Didn't that dude from the TV show Vicious take over and Maximus said, oh, you're going to be the emperor now and things are good? But we get this weird explanation that Rome is in chaos. I don't see that in this movie. I don't really understand what's going on in this movie of why there's uprisings and a total collapse, that Rome is only one push away from a total, where is any of this coming from? They did a terrible job of explaining any of this stuff in the first few minutes, let alone the next 2 hours afterwards. Now, it opens up with this guy, Lucius. He was the kid in the first movie. The guy that was, Joaquin Phoenix's nephew. They do not really explain to you why he got orphaned after the events of the first movie. Again, first movie ended. Everything seemed pretty good in the end, right? But no. He had to go get orphaned. I know I'm jumping ahead here, but it doesn't make any sense at all with this movie. No, but screw it. Let's just play. I'll talk about it later. So Lucius is living a fine, simple life. He's got land. He's got people with hats in the background. He's got a wife who I thought was Cara Delevingne from the trailer. Apparently not, but looks pretty similar at times. And life seems to be, pretty good for this dude. But then, oh no, the sounds of war are happening. Rome is coming across the seas. Why? I don't really know. At this point, Rome is just a big, stupid jerk that wants to go out there and conquer all these random places in Africa. Don't know why whatsoever. We don't really get anything, or I may have misunderstood it. We didn't really get anything that these nations were all at war. Again, the plot points in this movie, the major plot points, they blow through them. This is like a 2.5 hour movie. They blow through all of the major stuff. And the bulk of the movie is just harping on dumb things that I don't care about. Now, they're helping each other get their armor on, and it reminds me of one of my favorite lines from the movie Troy, where Brad Pitt, who plays Achilles, his ship lands on the shore, and he tells his cousin, stay with the boat. But his cousin's like, oh, whoa, I want to fight. He says,
cousin, I can't fight the Trojans, focus son for you. Guard the ship.
I cannot fight them and worry about your safety at the same time. There is no way. Because Lucius here, he's leading the armies. And his wife is also fighting in the armies? No. How could he possibly lead when he has to look after his wife too? Doesn't work that way. You are going to be constantly distracted every second of the battle. Let me do the compliment sandwich here for a second, okay? Let me just stop right here to say, this movie is beautiful. One of the most beautifully looking movies I have seen in a very, very long time. They do not skimp for a single solitary second. This movie, as bad as it is, it's going to get nominated and potentially win a lot of Oscars. Certainly for costume design, that's a lock right there. And a lot of this stuff, I imagine they built a lot of these things too. I don't think a lot of this movie's CGI. I think they built a lot of the Coliseum and other things. And they got Animaeus. They got Animaeus from Spartacus here. I saw this. I'm like, wow, the roster is just getting better and better and better. They fumble this dude. They fumble this dude, not like on the 1 yard line. They're fumbling him on the 50. There is zero reason to have employed this man.
Defeat the Romans. Destroy their ships.
So, I had to watch this part again before I talked about it, because I may have missed why they're fighting. We don't really get that. A lot of the speeches in this movie do not really answer a lot of things.
You did not make an offering today. I prefer to sacrifice a Roman.
This dude just wants to kill Romans. I don't know why he has such a hatred for Rome. He was like, 10 years old for the events of the first movie? I don't want to keep harping on this, but I'm going to do it the entire movie. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever of why he was abandoned and yet has such an absolute hatred for Rome.
Where you are, I am too.
And where you are, I am too.
Oh, what a lovely moment. I cannot wait to see these two have a love that withstands the test of time. There is no chance. If my wife was in this army and I'm leading it, she is as far back as anyone. She's nowhere near the battle. I have locked her up inside of a closet somewhere. She's going to be inconsequential to any outcome whatsoever. He cannot fight this battle and worry about his wife the entire time. What a ridiculous plot. This is what you should have done. It should have been the sounds of war happened. He goes out there, and then after the battle and everyone's captured, they execute her or something, or they're gonna execute him, and I don't know, she tries to interfere and they kill her, then he dedicates his entire existence to taking out Rome or something. You cannot have this woman in the battle. It makes no sense whatsoever. I'm sorry. There we got Pedro Pascal, people. Yes, I know, Pedro Pascal politically can't stand the guy, and he is in everything these days. He's pretty damn good in this. However, just like everything else, I think I'm trying to think here. Did they fumble him worse than Animaeus from Spartacus? I don't know. The trailer was an absolute lie. And they should have made this dude like, I don't know, Colonel Quaritch, whatever his name is from Avatar. That's who they should have modeled this guy's character after. But no. They go in a completely different direction. I'll point out the moment I knew we were screwed here. Also, let's take a second here to admire this armor. It looks beautiful.
They have no lands but the ones they've stolen. Wherever they go, they leave destruction and call it peace.
Get the hell over it. I don't understand this. I find this kind of strange. Why are all these nations going to war with Rome? If Rome is the biggest, baddest place out there, you don't really have a big town, a big city. You don't have a big army. So all these places that are talking crap about Rome, how come you guys aren't forming your own big army together and saying, no, we're not going to go along with Rome. We're just going to form our own nation, and they're going to do their thing over there, and we're going to do our own thing over here. Why are you, as individual colonies, saying, yes, we're going to stand up to the biggest nation in all the lands? No idea.
Pray that your God is with you. If he is not, he is no God.
You are taking the line from Kingdom of Heaven and fumbling it.
We've nothing to fear. But death is, we are not.
There is no reason at all this dude should be leading. The speeches in this movie are so bland and so generic. And the theme of this movie, they harp on this so much later on. The theme is rage. We do not get rage out of this guy. He should not be a leader. He should not be calm, cool, and collective. He should be the guy that his superiors are holding back. The guy that's jumping the front line and just tanking 10 Romans by himself. We don't get any of that from this dude. And I don't know why, again, the theme is rage and why Denzel has such a boner for this dude. Call me crazy. Call me crazy for a second. If I have a base that's on the shore, look how much empty space is here. Why don't I have, like, I don't know, 10 trebuchets or catapults? Why am I not just raining hellfire upon the world with my artillery? I don't understand why they only have a few things of actual value, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna take on the Romans." You don't have enough ammo. You don't have enough ammo to do that. Can you carry a shield or something or pretend to be like this is a big deal? Holy shit. This dude effed up. Like, this seems to be working. Why am I firing rocks? Just fire down, barrels of fire on them. You seem like you guys got this. Okay, here's Pedro Pascal doing it by himself. Badass dude who's taking all these arrows and he's risking his life to knock down this drawbridge. You would think this is the baddest motherfucker in the world. Damn, these guys are looking at each other hard. Are we gonna get an epic battle later on between these two? Is this gonna be the ultimate evil that Lucius is gonna have to take this dude down to get revenge? Is gonna be the most climactic battle of all human history? Wait and see. Now, dare I say, when I saw this battle, I had hope. This is when I was watching the movie. I said, okay, the opening text doesn't really make much sense to me at all because everything should be solved from the first movie. But when I saw this opening battle and the amount of work that went into it and how cool it looked, I was saying, you know what? This might not be as good as the original Gladiator, but it's going to be damn close. And then they torched my dreams. Okay. So as you can see here, it's war. This woman was killed in war. It wasn't personal. It wasn't, vindictive or something like that. He pointed at this archer and said, kill her, because obviously she's shooting his people. And that's how he survives this battle. He gets clubbed in the back of the head instead of being just straight up stabbed or beheaded. A Roman soldier just so happened to have a club and smacked this dude in the back of the head. This is why, again, like I said, it should have been they lost the battle. And then maybe they're executing people or something like that. And then his wife jumps the barrier, rushes them, and gets killed by Pedro Pascal. Or if it's a situation where he disarms her and just cuts her head off. Or it's just something vindictive. Give me a reason to hate this dude. That's how you should have done it. Not, oh, she was killed in war, and oh, he survived because he got clubbed in the back of the head. Ridley Scott knows better than this, man. Then we get this very, very long dream sequence of him seeing the afterlife and his wife getting brought away by the ferryman. It goes on so long, and I don't care about it. Also, why are you here? Are you in limbo right now? Have the gods not decided if your head wound killed you? Yeah, and then he wakes up, and the Romans are like, oh, okay. They're not even trying to attack this dude. They're not even trying to stop him whatsoever. Ah, you see that he broke off the piece of the arrow? Remember that for later. It's very important. And look at these kind Romans just helping this guy out of the water. They're not even like beating the shit out of him or clubbing him again and dragging his ass off in a chokehold or something like that. It's like, oh, hey, buddy, let's get out of the water. There's sharks and stuff in there. Come on, let's go to shore for a second. Like, this is Rome. This is the brutal hellscape dictatorship that is. Look at these dudes. They're just it's like a misdemeanor. They're just leading them along. That's all it is. Right here is where I knew we were screwed. That face right there. I saw him like, wait a second. Does he seem remorseful? Does he seem sad about this? Does he maybe not want to conquer all of these lands for the glory of Rome?
Claim this city for the glory of Rome.
Look how sad this dude looks. Again, couldn't we just get Colonel Quarch? Couldn't we get that badass general that just you hate him the entire time and you root for him to lose? Why are you making villains sympathetic at this point? Yeah, he's looking at him like this is a vendetta now. Like, how dare you kill my wife in the middle of warfare? How dare you do something like that? Oh man, I'm gonna say this again. They dropped the ball with this hatred right here, and the rage. They didn't know what they were doing with it. Again, it's Ridley Scott. What happened to you, man? He is so submissive. Again, the theme is rage. That this man has rage inside her. It's the most important quality of you is your rage and your hellfire and your vengeance and stuff like that. Like, you just saw your wife get killed. And you just let yourself be escorted back to shore by 2 Romans. You should have been fighting. They should have chained your ass up. And then you're sitting there, oh, they're burning all of my people, all their corpses. Oh, okay. Now they're gonna brand me. Oh, don't worry, officer. I'll just kneel down right here. Just whatever you say. Just, what are you doing with this guy? We're only 18 minutes into this movie. Bad character development so far. There's our hero, folks.
Behold a grown man weeping like...
Really want to root for this guy, right?
Stop. Hold on.
Why are they allowing slaves to roam around on the ship? Like the other day, I caught the remake of Ben-Hur. These dudes were all chained up in that movie. All the people that were rowing the boats were all slaves chained together. And you could just roam around the ship with no problems whatsoever? So we can get this weird little talk from Animaeus?
He's sailing us to something I cannot endure. I am ready to be taken to another place.
Yeah, so I don't know if the audio came through correctly. He's saying, they're sailing us to another place that I do not want to deal with. I am ready to be joined with my family again. This dude is just ready to end it all. There's no fight in him whatsoever.
Do not let them change what you are.
Do not let them change what you are. We don't really get a consistent character out of this dude whatsoever. Then we get the oddest flashback. Again, this is the kid from the first movie. After Joaquin was killed by Maximus, everything was good. The mother was safe because didn't he say I was gonna like kill your son or something like that if you don't do what I say? Or just along those lines. So he's dead. She's fine. She's still up in a really high position of Rome. And her son is essentially protected. There is no reason for him to be... The pyramids are in the background. Why is he in Egypt? There's no reason for him to be in Egypt. He should still be in Rome.
Have you seen this boy?
Yeah, the Romans are looking for him. Why? He has no reason to leave Rome. None of this movie makes any sense whatsoever.
You must go alone now, Hannah.
Also, why did they change his name to Hanno, whatever it is? I don't understand this. Also, if you want to maybe keep this kid a secret, maybe cut his long flowing locks. I don't know. Give him the same haircut as all the other kids. Maybe rub some dirt on his face or something.
Never let them find you.
Never let them find you. Why? What are they going to do to you? They never explain this stuff. And if they do and I missed it, they blew through it. Go where? You're a kid. You can't do anything. Oh, they burned down Egypt too? Why? Why would they? I might be mistaken here, because I don't really know what's true and what's not, though. But I remember the TV show Rome, the HBO show Rome. Awesome show, 10 out of 10. If you ever get a chance to watch it, highly recommend it. Rome was good with Egypt. They at least had, like, handshake deals, and things were pretty much okay there. So, why is everywhere that this dude goes, Rome comes and destroys everything he knows and loves? They had peace treaties, and, like, they were good with trade and stuff like that. I don't understand any of this. And wait a second, so were they coming to... Was burning down Egypt the plan? And it was just... if we could just get this kid at the same time, that's good? Or they went there for the kid, couldn't find him, and decided to burn the place to the ground? I don't know. This city is beautiful. This budget, obviously, you know, when you compare it to Godzilla -1, which is like a $15 million budget, this thing, I think it was like over $250. I made a video about it a while ago. But they really spent every single dollar on this movie in a good way. It is a beautiful looking movie. Ah, there we go. Joseph Quinn. And this guy is not Ed Sheeran, but he looks exactly like him. And before we get into this, I think out of all the people from Stranger Things, Joseph Quinn has taken advantage of that the absolute most. I understand this movie wasn't that great though, but he's in a lot of big name things. Quiet Place, Day One, this. He's playing Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four movie, also alongside Pedro Pascal. So he's going to get 3 Marvel movies at least out of that one. Everyone else from Stranger Things, they're nowhere near as well as off as this dude is right now. I think Millie Bobby Brown, without Netflix, she doesn't exist at all.
I have taken Numidia, your names, that your dominion may eclipse that of every emperor that came before you.
He doesn't even sound that happy about this stuff. He just seems like he's just going through the motions of it. Like, wouldn't you want your general to be more hardcore about this? Like, yeah, I slaughtered all these people in your name. They will all know the might of Rome, and that's it. He seems so remorseful and so upset about any of these things he's doing that I cannot imagine why they keep this dude as general. This monkey is the star of the movie, is monumentally important to the storyline going forward.
In honor of your conquest, there will be games in the Colosseum.
Serving the Senate is honor enough for me.
Damn. I'm not gonna say this dude is Moses, but he is a humble man.
You are too modest, Acacius.
Way too modest.
I only ask for some respite from war, to spend time with my wife.
There are victories yet still to come. India.
Go out and conquer them. You are Rome. You got this. You got the biggest army. You could do this in an afternoon. What army does India possibly have in Persia?
Rome has so many subjects. She must feed them.
They can eat more.
I love these two dudes because they just want to destroy everything and conquer everything. Which again, as I keep harping on, why is Marcus the dude in charge of leading these armies? If he just like, oh, I want to hang out with my wife a bit. It's like, no, go out there and conquer Persia and India. And he's like, oh, I kind of want to hang out with my wife. Like, no, get someone else. Get someone single. Okay, let's jump in a time machine back to the first Gladiator movie. remember what happened in that one? After Maximus won the battle in the woods, they tried to kill him. He went home. His family was dead. They captured him, made him a gladiator, and brought him to an arena. I wouldn't be surprised if this is not the exact same place. I got to do a comparison of it. I think this might be the exact same place they did the first gladiatorial arena battle in the movie, the original. So, they're just going to recreate it the exact same way, but do it poorly. Again, Ridley Scott, same dude directing it. Did the same thing again, but screwed it up. There he is, folks. The star of the movie, Denzel Washington. Even though I didn't like this movie, even though I do not recommend this movie at all, I'm saying right now Denzel's going to get a nomination.
Stay close.
Yeah, he told him, stay close to me. Okay. What do you think he's going to do? Also, remember the first one? That they were chained together? He was chained, Russell Crowe was chained with, Desmond Hausen? Yeah, they're trying to do the exact same thing, just, again, without the impact of the first one. Man, this is depressing. I love this actor. They did him so dirty. Okay, let's just take a quick count here, okay? This is a better shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. About 13, 14 dudes here. Also, he is the smallest. Look how giant this dude is right here. Why is this dude, with the body of a Greek god, not the main star of this movie? I don't understand why they surrounded Paul Mescal with people that are clearly bigger than him. Oh yeah. They have baboons. Enraged baboons. Remember the original? They're like, hey, we're going to have slaves fight gladiators. No. This I like. We're going to have these people fight enraged baboons. This is my dream, people. To make enough money that I can legally fist fight animals on every continent on the planet. I'd be like, holy shit, what the hell are these things? Yeah, he's kneeling down. And he's dead. Why did you hire him? Why would you hire the cool guy from Spartacus, Animaeus, just to have him... We didn't even get to see him fight in the opening fight scene. He's just there in the beginning, said, "Oh, you didn't give a prayer to the gods." Like, "Oh, I just want to kill Romans." And then we never get to see him fight anyone. He did nothing this entire movie. Yep, there he is getting his throat ripped out. Yep, he's done. He's done. Just gave himself up like that. Unbelievable. Huh. Look how that piqued Denzel's interest. Wow, this guy, fought? Also, be in mind, everyone else is also fighting these baboons as well. Again, look in the background that people are also battling and surviving here.
Which one is interesting?
Yes, this one is interesting. You see how he's not just dropping to his knees and letting himself die, that he's fighting back against the baboons? Like, everyone else is fighting too. This should have been a scene. This pole battle here should be to show his rage. He should be slaughtering these things. He should not just be one-on-one dueling them, having all the focus on him while, again, everyone else is doing the exact same thing he is. Yeah, the rage part. I don't really get that.
I'll buy it.
Why him? When everyone else either killed their baboon that they were fighting, or the baboons just stopped fighting them whatsoever because they didn't get the dart to the butt. He's not special. The problem is, they put him in moments where he's surrounded by other people, but for some odd reason, all the focus is him and everyone else is doing nothing. Yep, there he is. Man, what a waste. What a waste of a character, and what a waste of a good actor. You know, dare I say, let me make a comparison here to the first X-Men movie. when Wolverine was fighting in like the bar, the steel cage in the bar, and they're like, "Hey, don't kick him in the dick," and the guy's like, "Oh, but anything goes." Like, "Oh, well, he takes it personally." As soon as Wolverine was hit in the dick, he became enraged and fought back and destroyed the guy. This should be a thing of, hey, I'm a normal, calm, collected human being, but then something breaks inside of me, and I lose control. It should have been, he saw his friend die, and then he just went berserk, and killed all the monkeys by himself. It should not have been of, oh, I'm just going to fight this one by myself, and I just may happen to win. No, he should have slaughtered all of them by himself, to the point where the arena went dead silent, in just absolute shock of what happened.
Hi, lady.
Damn, she is doing pretty good in this franchise. She was banging the Emperor of Rome, her brother, and now she's banging Rome's greatest general. She is doing very well.
They thank the gods that brought you back home safe.
Thank the army, they protected me.
Oh, he's so humble. Thank the gods they brought you back safe. I thank the armies. You are, again, you're not Moses, but you are damn close. Why are you having these dudes training right next to the road? I don't know, it's kind of a weird nitpick. I'm just watching this thinking, why are these guys right next to the road? What if one of them falls backwards? Also, Denzel, you didn't buy just him. You bought the whole batch. Because I'm pretty sure all these dudes were all of them the same ones that were in the arena. Look at this guy right here. You're telling me this dude is not the main character of the movie? Wouldn't you believe that this jacked Adonis of a guy is the rage character that should be leading this movie? Again, no disrespect to Paul Mescal. This dude is head and shoulders above you.
You have worms.
You have worms. Aww.
I know this one. He eats monkeys.
I'm sorry, I don't know why that's a big deal or a noteworthy thing. If I'm fighting a monkey, I'm biting his dick off if I have to survive that thing. They're like, oh yeah, they start making some jokes about this guy later on. I was like, what was he supposed to do? And when he said, this one eats monkeys, this should have been the time for him to make some kind of a comeback. Be like, something, I don't know, off the top of my head, I'm like, yeah, and I'm still hungry too. Just something like that and just stare this guy down. Okay, it's funny. I get it. They're all joking. But again, I'd rather this dude play this serious as a heart attack. Just be the most rageful dude out there. Maybe they're all just laughing and doing the monkey chants. Maybe that he just slams his cup down and they all go dead silent or something like that. They don't know. I think they tried way too hard to make him like Maximus, where he is the best fighter and the most noble and the leader and gives the best speeches. It just seems like almost like first year writing students, almost like with Gaia from Secret Invasion, where at the end her powers were just the powers of everybody. It's like, yeah, I don't really know how to craft this character, so he's just gonna be the best at everything. That's kind of what they did with this character. Again, Ridley Scott, what are you doing here? So many other directions you could have gone into it, and I would have just gone full rage. This dude just snaps and you can't stop him, and that's it. Where Denzel has to get him to redirect his rage.
Pano, get up.
I really hate that his name is like Pano or something like that. I can't pronounce it. Yeah, he stands so respectful here. You're a slave, bro. Have some fight.
What is your native language? I speak them all. You don't answer because you can't or because you won't.
Why aren't you answering him? Again, the flip-flopping of this character. He jokes, he's nice, he's rage, he's a dick. Like, what is the direction here with him?
He can fight an ape. Let's see if he can fight a man.
Okay. These are gloves with spikes on them. Just want to point that out for later on. Yeah, this guy has gloves with spikes on them. That's a problem if you get punched in the face, right? I think this would be a lot worse. His face should be obliterated. Also, another comparison to the first one. Remember in the first one where they had the slaves and they would give them like the little test to see if you could block a couple times, and they put the paint on you to see if you're like Gladiator or To the Mines or something like that, and Maximus refused to fight? They're trying to do the same thing with this. This is how they should have done it. How am I doing this better than Ridley Scott? They should have had it to where he's just standing straight up and he gets slapped, not with spiked gloves, obviously, just slaps him in the face. And Denzel goes again, and he slaps him in the face. And maybe he's like, oh, well, guess this one's going to the mine. Hit him again, and then he blocks it, and then beats the shit out of this guy. He's fighting normal people, and kind of almost losing, and wins at the end a lot of these fights. He is not the greatest fighter of all human history. Yeah, now we're taking this seriously, I guess. I've been punched in the face twice with spiked gloves, but now I'll take this seriously. Maybe he should fight dirty. That's what I'm just sitting here as I'm watching this again, I'm thinking, why are you not going full rage mode, where you have to be quelled, where you have to have, like, dare I say, the Hulk situation, what's her name, Betty or something like that she could stop him from raging out? Why are you not doing this, where he's just obliterating this guy, maybe like Mike Tyson biting his ear off or something that he has to be restrained after, or whip around his neck and just dragged off to his cell? It just seems like, oh, hey, you're going to fight this guy. This normal guy that's really not the most jacked human being in the world. Yeah, that was enough that I might knee him in the face. And he listened. He listened to Denzel because he said enough.
Very good.
Was it? It was kind of average. Again, look at this guy right here. Why are you not the main star? Or this dude over here? Look how tall all of these people are compared to Paul Mescal.
Hose him down. Bring him to me.
He's not special. That is the problem. That is the biggest concern and problem I have with this movie, is that he's not special. He's not unique. He's just doing the bare minimum to survive here. Also, we should have had a scene in between here. You can't have hose him down, bring him to me, and then the next scene is, oh, here you are. I wonder if there's a lot of deleted scenes here. If there's like a director's cut that's like 3 hours long, dare I say, with all the problems I have with this movie, if there was a director, this is about a 2.5 hour movie, if there's a director's cut out there of 3 hours that might have these little scenes in between, that might make this a better movie. And you know what? I would have been okay sitting down for 3 hours if I was entertained.
Strong jaw.
Strong jaw. You got punched in the face with spiked gloves. You have the jaw of concrete.
Good arms.
No, compared to the other guys, you're kind of average.
Got a smell.
Yeah, it smells okay. I'll give him that.
It is an art. Choosing gladiators.
It's an art choosing gladiators. You chose the wrong guy. I wouldn't have picked him. At least with Maximus. They didn't know who he was at first. When they gave him the test of if he would fight back, you can tell there was something in this dude's eyes that he was holding back and allowing himself to beat. Not out of cowardness, because he just didn't want to fight. So the guy that was mentoring him had to bring that out of him. We don't get this. You're in Denzel's eyes, he's good. In Denzel's eyes, Lucius is good. He's already everything he needs to be.
Crowd loves blood, and they love those who love blood as much as they do. And you, my friend, rage.
No, come on. The sentiment is there, but it falls flat because we haven't seen the rage. We didn't really even see the rage in the opening fight. He was just a regular soldier, it looked like, just doing what he had to survive. It was very rudimentary. Of course, the choreography, like I said, in the beginning was good, but it wasn't, man, this guy's a brute. Man, he's biting people's necks off. He's double swording people. He's doing everything. No. It was just regular. The arena, what did you do? You bit a monkey's arm and choked him out with a chain. Oh, wow. Oh, what'd you do in your test? You punched a dude in the face a bunch of times. Wow, you are rage incarnate.
Pours out of you like milk from a horse tit.
pours out of you like milk from a whore's tit. Again, there's a director. I'm telling you, after this movie leaves the theaters and comes to Amazon Prime or something, there's going to be a 3 hours director's cut. And we're going to watch that and go, damn, we were wrong. That is my hope. That is me being the optimist that I am. That there is a 3 hour director's cut, 3.5 hour director cut, that will make sense of what I'm watching right here.
Whose head could I give you that would satisfy this entire Roman armies?
Badass. It's almost like they filmed these scenes way out of order. Because this guy right, I believe he would actually say this stuff. But what we've seen so far, get nothing out of that from the fights. You know what would have been better? I'm just spitballing here. If Animaeus, his friend that died, that let himself get killed by the baboon, what if the roles were reversed? When that fight was started and he was going to say, stay by me. And what if he decided, screw it, I'm going to go off on my own. I'm not remotely doing this as a team. I'm just going to go out there and start killing things. Wouldn't that be better?
The general will do.
The general will do. Yeah, come on. It wasn't personal. He didn't say, I'm going to go invade this city to kill your wife, man. It just so happened to be that she died because he was leading. It wasn't personal. It wasn't vindictive. And that's why I'm saying that we should have gotten that scene where they were branding them or executing them, and then she jumps the barrier and maybe knocks a Roman over and gets her sword, and then Pedro Pascal just kills her with no problem, does it as an example to everyone else, and they have to hold this dude down who's watching his wife get her throat slit or something. Then I can say, yes, a general's head will do.
Use your rage in my service, and you will have his head.
Why? It's kind of crazy that that's even a possibility that Denzel could arrange such a thing. It doesn't, I don't know.
At times I've wished you'd abandoned me rather than fight their wars.
I'm sorry, I have to fight their wars. I'm a general. That's my job. I'm pretty sure she knew that when they first met.
But my patience with those two is at an end.
Letter, you may go to your quarters now.
I like that. I didn't really catch that the first time watching in theaters, that he's talking shit about the emperors, and she's telling her slaves, go away. I don't want anyone hearing about this.
I will not waste another generation of young men for their vanity.
Can't you just be a badass? Couldn't you just... Oh, man, I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed here. Because I'll definitely ping it in the video, but I made a song about this movie. And I released it as soon as the trailer came out, though. I took a chance and said, okay, I'm guessing he's going to be a real big tyrant in this movie. And that was my biggest concern. Like, I really hope I didn't waste my time making this song, and this dude turns out to be just a pussy. And that's what he is. He doesn't care. I will not waste another generation on them, on their vanity. You're a general. Your job is to do this. Go be a senator then. Go out for peace then. Your job is literally war. Is this not what you signed up for?
If I fight another campaign, it must be to depose them.
Why? If I might fight another campaign, it must be to depose them. Why are you here then? At what point? Also, yeah, at what point of him doing this job did he look back and go, wow, am I the bad guy? Is that what's happening right now? Am I part of the wrong team here?
The Emperors do not have the support of the people.
Why don't they? This is such a big theme later on in this movie. The Emperors do not have the support of the people. I don't get any of that from this movie. I don't get at all for a second that Rome is just a powder keg and needing a single spark and it's all over. They just talk about these things. It's all telling and not showing. Very odd.
The people are weary of the madness, the tyranny.
Are they? Things look pretty sweet in Rome. I don't see what the problem is.
What is the dream of Rome? People are not free.
What? Woman, you've been in Rome like your entire life. Your father was emperor at some point, wasn't he, in the first one? What is? Do you not know how Rome works? Who cares? Your job as Rome is to conquer the world. You have the biggest and baddest army out there. Now all of a sudden she's like, man, this is a little bit too much. We can't do this. Why? Why not? These dogs are silly looking, but I like them. Oh yeah, this is Rome at its lowest point right now. Man, what a terrible. Oh man, I could see why there's a revolution happening. Look how unhappy everyone is. Play Wonderwall. And is that a rhino to beheaded? Oh my god.
I knew the provinces were not enough for you.
I'm just here for the games.
No, you're not, you snake.
I know nothing happens in Rome unless you've tasted it first.
I love Denzel Washington. Never get old, Denzel. Yeah, he should be in a cell by himself because he is so rageful that you can't put him with normal people. That's how it should be. Yeah, he gets up on his own free will. Are you kidding? You are not the badass main character I hoped you'd be.
That's my purpose here.
You'll find out, so you know.
I don't really understand these two relationship. I was kind of hoping by the end of the movie there'd be some kind of a mutual respect between them. We really don't get that. I was very confused by that.
It's customary for your guests to make wagers in these affairs. 1,000 gold denarii. 2.
Dude has a gambling problem. That's what I kind of like about this. Denzel, I like that he had a plan this entire movie. It's just that it doesn't really make sense. It all hinges upon Lucius. And it shouldn't. Because if he would have died in the battle, what would have Denzel have done? It's way too convenient that it all worked out the way it did. Okay, what's happening here? Here is my conspiracy theory, okay? I've been on the Animal Kingdom Safari a bunch of times. Every time we pass by the rhinos, they talk about how the rhinos are hunted for their horns. Because their horns are said to have some medicinal qualities to them. But they're just made of keratin, which is just made of what same thing as our fingernails. I think that is a lie. I think they are gaslighting us. And secretly, rhinos' horns have a lot of medicinal qualities to them. It's just, they're telling us, hey, it's just fingernails. That's why this scene is in there. Because they believe that these horns have some kind of medical qualities to them. And that's why this scene is happening right here, because they believe that there is some medicinal qualities to them. I didn't even realize this my first time watching in theaters, but I thought this was a pretty cool addition to the movie.
Gentlemen and senators, for your entertainment, the art of combat. 3 rounds, hand to hand. Swords! We want swords.
I just realized this. I did not realize this on the big screen. There are way too many femboys in this movie. What is this is not the historical accuracy that you had to strive for in this movie.
Fight to the death.
Oh, look at this dude. Why is Denzel a little bit concerned about this? Like, oh man, I might lose my my key piece. This is your plan, right? To use this dude's rage to get you up the ladder here?
Let's not kill each other for their amusement.
Why? What do you mean? Let's not kill each other for their amusement. You do realize what you're doing here, right? And the theme is rage? Shouldn't the other guy be saying that? Love that. Use the environment around you. Just go full into it. No respect whatsoever. That's how it should be done. What are you nervous about? You saw him bite that monkey's arm off. What's the problem here? Look how concerned he is. Just freaking angle slammed him. Love it. I wonder whose idea was that.
What the hell is dead? Wait a minute! There was a big slam on the rock!
Is this the rage that Denzel was talking about? The rage and fury inside of you? No, I didn't get that at all. He just stabbed a dude that was unarmed and that was it. Maybe it could have been a moment. Maybe it could have been a moment where he did have this guy. Just, you know, like Anakin with Count Dooku, where he just had his swords around his neck, and then Denzel gave him the nod and he cut his head off. Something like that might have worked to show that, yeah, we're going to go full in on this together. I will be your sword and your instrument. But no, the whole time he's like, I will not fight for you. I will not be your vengeance. Stuff like that. Just like, why? Just let it be a mutual respect between these two people. You kill all these people for me and I'll give you the general's head. That should be the arrangement here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
From where do you hail? Speak.
You see, they you're defiant, you're submissive, you're defiant again. What is the direction here? Are a lot of these just filmed completely out of order and they said, we're going to make a change on the fly? That's my theory behind this. They filmed so many of these things out of order and they had direction with some of them and then forgot that direction later on.
I said speak.
He is from the colonies. Your Majesty, his native tongue is all he understands.
There we go. Perfect cover-up for it. Love it.
The gates of hell are open night and day.
What the fuck?
Smooth is the descent, and easy is the way.
Yes, this is happening. This is happening, guys. He's reciting poetry.
The task and mighty labor lies.
Just think for a second. You're right. You're Ridley Scott, and you guys are writing this script, and you're talking about it, and you're like, "Hey, you know what? This guy our main character just gutted the dude in front of all these people, showed how badass he is. They're asking him his name. He's not being defiant. What does he do next? Starts reciting poetry. He's like, what am I doing here? He's not buying this for a sake. He knows something's up. They're like, what am I doing with this? What do you say to this? And he's there just relaxing in the bath, like, just chilling. No. Oh, good. You paid me for the fight. You do realize I'm a slave, right?
Who taught you poetry? A captured Roman officer.
This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter at all. Actually, it kind of does later on, but it's kind of dumb.
And what became of this prisoner? Oh, we ate him, as barbarians do.
As barbarians do.
Why can't... I kind of wish they did. I kind of wish they went full barbarian on this guy. Like, there was a movie years ago called Valhalla Rising with Mads Mikkelsen as the main character. And he was mostly mute. I'm pretty sure he was mute the entire movie. And he was just the kill every person in the room dude. He was just absolutely brutal in his style of it. And this is what the movie should have been. This is how they should have made this character in Gladiator 2. Just demolishes people. No honor at all in his fight and just brutally kills them all. But no, you gave him personality and poetry and crap like that. And I just don't care about any of that at all.
And where were you born?
Why does my past matter if it is my future to die for you in the arena?
Your past, it doesn't make any sense.
Tell me what you survived for Roman money.
Yeah, that's a great point, though. Why are you giving a slave Roman money? What am I going to do with it? Can I buy anything? No. No, you can't.
A gladiator can buy his own freedom.
He buys his freedom by being released by his master. That's usually how these things go, right? Like, you go a few years, you win a ton of matches, and then they're like, oh, hey, we're going to set you free. It's not a coin thing, is it? You're a slave. You don't have any property or any rights whatsoever. And wait a second. Also, let's just jump into this really quick. Is the relationship between these two, slave and master, or is it I'm going to use you to propel me into the Senate, and thusly I will allow you to kill the general that you hate so much? This should not be a slave-master dynamic. This should be, we're both working towards the same goal here. You help me, I'll help you, and that's it.
You promised me a head.
Earn your keep and you can have anyone's head.
See, that should it be. That's what it should be. Earn your keep and you'll have anyone's head. I will make this happen. Just keep slaughtering people for me. It's all you have to do.
Senators.
This is where the movie takes a dump all over itself. I don't understand the uprising. I don't understand any of this whatsoever because they didn't really make much sense of it. This is the dude from the first one. The one after Maximus killed Joaquin Phoenix. He's like, yeah, aren't you this is the Emperor of Rome, I'm pretty sure, right? What happened? You got dethroned by these two brothers? And then just, what, went into hiding?
My lady, I wish we were meeting in better times.
What better times? Rome is it's flourishing right now. What's the problem here? There should almost be another storyline going on in this movie where we're seeing the slums of Rome and seeing that, oh no, it's so terrible and unjust and all this crap like that. They're trying to cram too much into this movie, but they're not showing us what's going on behind the scenes, beyond the Senate, in the very streets of Rome where people are apparently not free.
And why are we here?
To take back the city.
What? Well, I'm confused here. Why are we here? To take back the city. Did you not know that Pedro Pascal was sitting there this whole time? Did you not know that what the plan of this was? Did they just so happen to just send you a raven and told you to come to this secret location underground? And now you're being told what the plan is? This wasn't hinted before at all?
And restore Rome to where she should be.
She's doing pretty good, buddy. She's doing damn good right now.
My army waits for my command at Ostia.
This is not... Didn't Julius Caesar do this, where he had an entire army and stood outside the gates of Rome, was like, hey, if you don't make me emperor, I'm going to demolish everything? Where is his army? What's the point of all this? We don't even really get to see this until later on in the movie.
5,000 soldiers loyal to me.
Also, wait a second. Wasn't this a theme in the first movie, too? That the dude with the cuts on his face, one of Maximus's friends, they were trying to break him out, and he's like, hey, your army is outside the gates, ready to attack anytime. They're doing the exact... I just realized this now. They're doing the exact same thing as the first movie. Just, it doesn't make any sense. At least the first one, Maximus could say, hey, they killed my friend, the duly righteous Emperor of Rome. Joaquin Phoenix killed him, and I'm going to take my army and usurp him. This one, we're doing the same thing, but why?
Emperors for their crimes against the Senate.
What are the crimes? They never explain what the crimes against the Senate are. They're just saying that these two brothers are the worst, and that's it.
Marcus Aurelius talked of restoring power to the Senate, but that was a generation ago.
No, it was that you were literally in charge back then. What happened to you at the end of Gladiator 1? What did you do? What did you do as Emperor of Rome? What did you do that was so stupid that these two brothers, one of them, someone said the guy, Ed Sheeran might have syphilis and that's why he's so weird in this movie? What is going on here with these people's brains? See, that's the point here. Those femboys were not clean.
He had my loyalty, and so do you.
This dude has looked the same for 30 years. This guy might be a vampire in real life. He looks exactly the same.
Take back what is rightfully yours, and the Senate will support you.
It must have been so easy back then just to take power. All you need is like a few dudes in robes to have your back, and you could just kill the emperors and be like, hey, we're gonna nominate this guy in charge. And that's all it took back then. There was zero loyalty with Rome at any given point.
Never mention stink.
That would be Hannah. You'll have to put up with me as I am.
I don't know, man. I just... The character progression of him, he should have been just like ruthless soldier the entire time, and then slowly integrate him into the group, where they started trying to befriend him, and he started making jokes with them eventually. They're trying too hard to go with the Gladiator 1 thing, where Maximus was friends with all the slaves, and then united them to uprise against their masters and stuff like that. It's just, too many themes from the first one are done in the second one, but they're almost out of order, in my opinion.
How do you know this place?
I know the chaos they brought.
What? Shut up. What chaos?
This city infects everything it touches.
No, it doesn't. It's actually pretty sweet. And also, you were a royal prince of Rome at one point. What happened to you? That's what happened. You had all the luxuries growing up, and then you became orphaned for some unbeknownst reason, and then you were on the run, and now you're like, wow, Rome's kind of shitty. No, it wasn't. You loved it there. Shut up.
This city is diseased.
Get over it. Are you nuts? Why are you attacking the slave transport? Are you stupid? Oh yes, barbarian scum. Let me jump. What? You're gonna get demolished. What's wrong with you? Did they forget to make the guy that he attacked not the main character? Shouldn't he have attacked the main character and bit his hand off or something? I'm sorry. I guess this is to show the poor people of Rome. There really aren't that many. This city is kind of flourishing at this time, it looks like. This right here was a nitpick that I read online, that a historian was saying this movie is nothing but just Hollywood bullcrap. That they didn't have newspapers back then, or cafes. Like, who cares? Who cares at all? They're not billing this as a historical movie, that this is 100% accurate. Like, I don't care about any of that.
Barbarian, I haven't forgotten. I always repay my
I
debt.
was merely going to suggest, shall we say, double or quits.
Double or nothing. That sounds fantastic. Also, is a 2,000 denarii, is that a lot of money back then? I don't really know. That should not be enough money to bankrupt you. God, I love Denzel's laugh and everything. As much as I think Paul Mescal is a great actor, this should be your lead. This Adonis-looking dude. Why is this guy that looks like a gladiator not the main character of this movie? Yeah, here comes the smallest dude that's dressed the nicest with the nicest teeth. Yeah, this privileged-looking guy is the main... Look at the size of this dude next to him. Get out of here, casting director. That's why you should have overcompensated by the fact that he is smaller, yet he is the most rageful out of all of them. And it doesn't matter the size, he will kill everything in the room. This is the craziest thing. This dude is from the Great British Bake Off TV show. I love that, how he's always fighting for something to be in the front. It's a theme that plays out later on. I think they do a pretty good job with these brothers. They just don't explain what's going on with him. And I really hate that, because later on they kind of just try to shove it down your throat. They try to speed run it, but there should have been a lot more character development here. Again, there's probably, a 3-hour cut.
Speak to them.
Ah, yes, there he is. The man that's kind of semi-responsible for the death of my wife. I like that he threw his drink in this dude's face next to him. Let me rewind that. I like that little detail right there. Here we go. This was a scene I saw in the trailer, and I said, Book, I'm going day one of this movie. You notice that the doors just closed behind him, right? Remember in the original Gladiator movie, where Maximus and all of his dudes were fighting the people on the chariots, and they had the chariots with the sword blades on it? We got a dude on a rhino versing like 10 guys here. Why? Shouldn't you have 10 rhinos? Shouldn't it be something? This guy is an undefeated champion. Wouldn't you want to bring a couple of other dudes on his side too? Wouldn't that be cooler? 5 rhinos versus 5 people? Yeah. 1 versus 5. I don't think for a single second that this guy's got this. Maybe you should have had them, I don't know, all chained together, so the rhino would maybe spear one of them and then drag the other 4. They can't just roam around. Honestly, you could just jump behind him and throw swords at him and you're fine. I don't know why she's smelling the flower the entire time. I don't think they really answer that, but I kind of wish they would. And if you know what it is, can you let me know?
Hold together, and when it charges, break for the wall.
What should I?
Yeah, why am I listening to you? You're not really in charge here. Again, the similarities to the scene I was mentioning in Gladiator, where Russell Crowe had all of them lock their shields together, like hold, as one! And then they all didn't die from the chariot with the swords on it. They're doing the exact same thing, just you're running out of the way of a rhino that's honestly not going that fast right now. That wasn't that dramatic. Why? Look at Joseph Quinn's face. But also, he's so upset. The rhino wasn't going that fast, and this guy has a short axe. Okay, now you have no axe. Was that a good idea? Yeah, this dude should be the main character of the movie. I know I keep harping on that. I don't know why they give this guy so much screen time, and I don't think he has a single line in this movie. Now, wouldn't that have been better if they were all chained together? Now they have, 200 plus pounds of dead weight as you're trying to run out of the way of a rhino. And let's say they were all chained together, and this guy's stuck on the rhino's horn, and he's just dragging these 4 dudes with him. Wouldn't that be so much smarter? I don't know who this guy is. I look forward to seeing this guy in many movies. I think, again, we should have had where he was by himself at this point. Because right now, it's just 4 versus 1. This should not be the, oh, holy shit moment. He's taking this seriously now. You have 4 other guys. You could just why aren't you just bum rushing them? It's not that complicated. He literally threw his axe away. He's disarmed. And the rhino's not going that fast. Wait a second. He picked up the dirt like someone else I know. Yeah, also, by this point, the rhino should have been doing a lot more. We should have been seeing more battle going on here, and then he's like, wait a second. I should try to outsmart this thing. No, we shouldn't take it head on. I should do something tactical to defeat this thing. But no, another weird element just falls flat. Okay. The idea is I threw the smoke in the rhino's face. Look how much room there is. As the rider, shouldn't you realize that maybe I should just turn this thing to the side? Like, you could just literally turn him this way and kill Lucius instantly. Also, you're dead right now. What part of this 10-ton rhino hit you, flipped you over like nothing, and you're fine? Oh, that guy just realized he lost again. Also, the rhino's not dead, right? It just smacked its face against the wall. I'm pretty sure it's not dead. Okay, here's where we should get the rage. The unbridled rage where he just demolishes this dude. That should again be the theme of the movie, his rage and fury.
It's that poet, is it not? Can't remember. That night was a blur.
The night was a blur, yes. There were femboys everywhere. I have no idea what was going on that night.
Good night and day.
Why are you reciting this for the audience? We know this wasn't that long ago. Oh, I'm sorry. They say so she realizes it, but it's so dumb. I'm not spoiling it for you yet, but it's so dumb. You should not put this together. His face is pure shock. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever, this movie. Oh, okay. Dear gentle viewer, let me just say this. Let me just say this for all of us to understand this, okay? Let's pretend me and you are in a gladiatory arena and we're on the same side. Do you think for a single solid, if my life is on the line, I'm just gonna stand back and watch you solo this? No. The rhino's done. I don't know if the rhino's dead, but he's certainly out of commission. We're fighting one normal dude that may be just a little bit above average in size. 4 dudes. We're bum rushing this guy. I'm not just gonna stand by and let you, dear gentle viewer, take this dude on his own. I got your back. That's how it should be. Or maybe, dare I say, they could try to step in and he'll say, no, I got this. Get out of the way. Or yell at them or something like that. Like with, oh man, what was it, Dune? with what's his name, Austin Butler's scene where he's dueling those dudes in the arena and he's fighting that guy one-on-one, and then his people start smacking him from behind and he starts yelling at them to go away because he wants to fight this dude alone. That's what they should have done with this. They should have came in to help. He's like, no, I got this. Get out of the way. Dropped him right on his head. The choreography for this fight is really good. It just doesn't make any sense. There's no way this dude is surviving. Especially 1 against 4.
Blood.
Yeah, I like that. Blood. Just kill him. We should just not have these problems right now. Yeah, and also, I like how bloodlusted the younger brother is. Because remember when they were having that fight? Like, oh yeah, 3 rounds to the fist. He's like, nope, get the swords out. I want to see a show here. This is the guy that should be in charge. Okay, I don't really see Lucius being defeated at this point. He just got flipped over, and that was it. And then the other gladiator's like, I'll just give him all the time in the world to recover. Maybe he should have, I don't know, tackled him, had a sword above his head, where it's over. You're just kind of just walking around and letting him get up.
No mercy! You're gonna face your blade and accept Roman mercy.
Bro, just, what is your anger boner against Rome? Why do you hate Rome so much? You've hated them before your wife was killed. Wow, that was fast. Wow. That okay. He just stabbed him and that was it? What are we gonna ask again for mercy or not? I'm sorry, crowd. It's not up to you. This man is dead. He just got stabbed right through the chest. He's done. Oh, that was cool. I like it's still an homage to the first one. That's what it should be. It should be little subtle things here and there that take inspiration from the original. You shouldn't be trying to do a direct copy of it. That was cool. That was a cool kill. What is he disappointed about? Like, you just sentenced the other guy to death. What's the problem here? Oh, the rhino's alive. Oh, good. I thought the rhino died. So, the rhino was just sitting there doing nothing? And also, there are 4 other guys that survived this too.
The road to freedom doesn't run through the arena. Leads to this.
Yeah, but he was kind of a dick. He wasn't like your best friend. This wasn't Animaeus. This guy was like, I'm not listening to you, and he died. There really shouldn't be much sympathy towards him. Wouldn't it have been better if this was just a one-on-one fight, him versus Rhino guy, and that's it? Doesn't really make sense to have other people there if you're not having them all chained together or something like that. Yeah, they're cheering the other guys like, I don't know what happened. I was there and everything just kind of worked out.
What happened?
Absolutely nothing. I don't know. I just showed up and I don't know. I don't even know the guy to be.
So, okay, this is apparently, I don't know if this is true, but if this is Lucius's bedroom as a child, and that's how he knows this poem because it was written on the walls. Like, this is not a poem for children. Why would you do this? Also, so the story then, of course, of him, we were guarding a Roman soldier and he told us stories and I learned poetry to him. It's like, why did you even bother saying that? He could have just said, I heard it as a child, and that's it. Or it shouldn't even been a thing. You needed to connect the dots of her realizing that, wow, this may be my son. That's the only reason they had the poetry in it, and it just doesn't make sense to me. And also, I'm not even halfway through this thing so far. Yes, but Maximus didn't do the dirt thing and throw it in the guy's eyes. He did it because every scene of Russell Crowe, he did that with the sand. If he would have done it the same way, to start it off, that would have made sense, but this was just, I did this to literally get sand in my hands to throw it in the face of a rhino.
Lucius is safe.
Lucius is safe, but technically he's not, right?
Lucius. There are men who want to kill you so they can take.
Okay, you're the sole heir to the throne now. People want to kill you, so I'm gonna send you off on your own.
I'll bring you back As soon as it's safe.
Why is it not safe? I understand the concept you're going with. I do understand. But you're not showing. Again, Joaquin Phoenix is dead. The guy is now the new Emperor of Rome. Everything is good. This shouldn't be a problem.
I have to stay here for your sake.
Why? To do what? Aren't they going to be questioning, hey, what happened to your son, the future heir of Rome?
Remember who you are?
No, but you don't remember who you are. You adopt an entirely new identity, and your identity is Rome sucks. I want to kill it. You know what? Dare I say, maybe Animaeus, a young Animaeus, should be the guy that's with him. So then we can see that, wow, I've been kind of looking after you your entire life. And then when he died, it was such a heartbreaking thing. Just, I don't know what the plan is here. What are these two dudes supposed to do with him? Just bring him to, what, the nearest village?
I used to be a gladiator myself.
I don't really understand why this guy is very important towards the plot later on. I don't really understand why he decides to sacrifice everything for this guy.
Did you hear that crowd?
I didn't understand that. Why he gave him that weird look.
Did you hear that crowd?
And then he repeats himself. I don't understand that.
Rage.
Again, rage. You have this inside of you. Rage. Not really.
That rage is your gift. Like the great Achilles.
You are not Achilles. Shut up.
I was in the service of your father's army on his African campaign.
I think this is the revenge plot of the movie. Not Lucius versus whatever Pedro Pascal's name is. I don't care anymore. It's Denzel's plot to get back at Rome. Because I'm assuming he was a slave and then befriended the emperor. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to get revenge on everything.
And where did you find these gladiators?
Why do you ask?
Because somehow I abandoned my son and sent him off on a horse with a pair of dudes and just so happened to end up in Egypt and then somehow became, I don't want to say a general, but one of the main people in charge of this African village to grow up to hate Rome and then get captured and then come back to Rome and exact his revenge? Is that what the story is? That's kind of what the story of this movie is.
What is this?
That is my father as a youth.
I'm sorry. Didn't you, grow up with this dude?
It's common knowledge when Commodus was killed, the boy disappeared.
Why?
And his father? Ostensibly, Lucy.
What the fuck is Denzel doing behind this woman?
Females were not his taste.
No, mine someday.
Oh, Denzel, stop alluding that you're banging dudes. This place is flushed with femboys everywhere. Also, they're saying that the mother was promised to some guy at 14. She was not 14 years old in the events of Gladiator, so the idea is that Maximus, because they're alluding that Maximus is the father, that he got her pregnant, and then somehow this other guy, Pedro Pascal, had no idea. Just the idea, I don't understand that, because also, that character wasn't in the Gladiator movie. So, he was promised to her after the events of the first one?
The real father was Commodus. Brotherly love, you see.
If he died, there has to be remains.
If he died, there had to be remains. Where are you going to find them? He could have been killed along the way. Imagine for a second. The mother puts him on a horse. And then an hour later, they're robbed and they're killed. And the body's just, I don't know, thrown in the woods and then eaten by hyenas or something like that. You're not going to find remains. How do they have access to him? Shouldn't he be locked away with the rest of the slaves or something like that?
Gladiator, do you know me?
I think they missed a big opportunity here to really showcase Paul Mescal's range. It should have been his mother walked in, and then just the look in his eyes. That's what I wanted to see. Just him realizing, holy shit, my mother's here. Because you kind of saw her in the arena, but now she's here. And I just kind of want to see all the rage just kind of wash away. And I'm a little bit disappointed that we actually didn't get that.
You have a family.
A wife. She was killed under your husband's command.
Oop! This is awkward.
Rome drowns in its own blood.
No, it doesn't. Shut up. Rome is the best place. It's the most prosperous place. Why do you keep shitting? Maybe you should have went to Africa with him. Maybe you should have just got on the horse and rode away, because you being in Rome didn't really do anything. The brothers took over. The white-haired dude was banished. Pedro Pascal is forced to be the general. No, you being here has done nothing positive for anybody.
Lucius.
I do not know who you think I am.
See, right now, we should be seeing the mental anguish of being called his original name by his mother. We should be seeing this guy holding back tears. He should be gritting his teeth. This should be the acting performance of a lifetime right here. And we're not getting nothing by just stone face. Get out of here.
My name is Hanno.
Okay, come on.
If your son were here, I feel sure he would tell you not to grieve him.
Say it with so much more anger and inflection in your voice, please.
For he would not be the boy that you sent away. That boy is dead.
Oh, so you are him. You are acknowledging that you are the son of her.
You may think I betrayed you.
You did. You totally did. And for what? Nothing. No one is better off because of anything that you've done in the previous movie and this one.
Take your father's strength as Maximus, Decimus Meridius.
This should be, like, the biggest bombshell of his life. This should be something that matters. And he's hearing this stuff, realizing that the gladiator that he idolized growing up as a kid is his father. Wouldn't you think that would put some kind of, just remote move the gears in your brain at all?
Lucius, you were loved. By myself and by your father.
No, you weren't. Did you say you were loved by myself and your father? He didn't even know he was your father. He didn't even know he had a son. This whole time.
Your name was on his lips. Get out!
There should have been so much sadness in his voice. He should have been bawling his eyes out. There should be snot out of his nose. This should be the most devastating thing he's ever heard in his entire life. And aren't the guards like, what the hell's happening down here? Why are people shouting? Roman outfits back then were just a bunch of towels, weren't they?
Lucius is alive.
At this point, I was wondering, does Pedro Pascal think he's the father? I don't know. I don't know why they never really talked about that. But at this point of the movie, I thought that maybe he was under the assumption that that is my son.
Are you certain?
Like, he sounds more upset about this than the other guy.
I know my son.
I know my son. Yes, he acknowledged it, that, oh, the son that you abandoned. Like, obviously a random slave wouldn't know that.
The third day of the games is tomorrow. Most fighters won't survive.
Why do you think that? Gladiators go off to have massive careers and even win their freedom. It's like, oh, he's probably not going to survive. Why? What have we seen so far that would make you think this guy's going to get killed? You would think no one can kill him. He's the greatest gladiator of all time.
Willingly give my life to Rome, but I will not give my sons.
You abandoned him to begin with. He could have been killed easily. That's the worst part of this. I don't really know what she thought she was going to get out of this. What positive thing was happening by sending her son away? We got no reason of why he was in any danger whatsoever. Right now, this is how I would have wrote this character now. After hearing the news about my father and my mother coming there and trying to ask for forgiveness and all that crap, he should be enraged right now. He should be rowing this thing faster than these other guys should be doing it. And they should just kind of be along for the ride of it. And this guy should be like, hey, slow the hell down. Just go with just full rage. Why aren't they doing this?
You won't get far like this.
You shouldn't be the jokester of the group. You cannot be everything.
Just him. You go.
He made a simple joke. And also, this dude has worms. How is he still alive? And again, he made a simple joke. So now you're going to punish him by having him be the only one rowing?
Let's see how far you can go on your own without your team.
That line should have carried over later into the movie. Let's see how far you can row without your team. That should be one of the themes here. That he does have this rage, and yet realizes later on that maybe he can't do it alone. Maybe he has to have the power of friendship and camaraderie and all that stuff to achieve his goals. So then he starts working together. We're only like an hour and 15 into this movie. This is a long-ass review so far. So he should be learning that he has to be part of a team. Maybe let the rage go and let these people in. It's okay. It's not as dark and depressing as you think it is. Get the hell out of here. You are not doing this for longer than 15 minutes. He should be beyond jacked at this point. I don't think they put this guy in the gym long enough. That, you know what? I kind of would have liked it if the other slaves would have joined in. Wouldn't that have been kind of cool? That he was just pushing them away this entire time because he was nothing but just a rageful child with a vengeance and a vendetta against them and everything like that. And then slowly but surely, his fellow gladiators try to welcome him in there. And like, hey, I'll row with him. I'll help out. Because later on, some things happen where they try to cover for him. But it doesn't really feel warranted. And again, as I keep saying, this should be your main character.
It's just vinegar, my friend.
That sounds painful. Is vinegar good for open wounds? I'm gonna skip this part here. These dudes just talk forever. I don't get it. They try to build up this weird personal relationship. I don't care about it. This is when they should be exploring the other themes of this movie, showing that the poor people are trying to rise up or something else going on here in the streets of Rome. Like, give me why Rome is so destitute right now and the people suck. You are the smallest dude here. I keep saying it doesn't make sense.
It's about survival!
Thank you. It's about survival. Inspiring words.
They have archers! Be ready! Listen for my command!
They have archers. Be ready. Thank you. Also, why is he in charge? I'm just saying, like, Maximus, he was a great leader. He was well respected. In all these situations when he was with the other guys, they were working together as a unit. Like the scene with the rhino. He did it by himself, essentially. He called out like 2 commands and that was it. But with Maximus, having the chariots attacking them with the bows and arrows and the swords attached to the wheels, he was giving them battle commands. And every time, like, hey, good job, everyone, good job. Oh, go, let's get him again. Like, he was riling them up. But with this one, he's just in charge because he's there. These other guys have won the same amount of games as him, but he's just getting all the glory and fame here. Okay, there's sharks here. This is one of the nitpicks that I've heard from historians, that Romans would not have access to sharks. I have no idea why anyone would. Of course they would have access. They know what the ocean is. They fish. You're telling me at no point did they say, oh man, look at this giant thing. Why don't we, keep it and then put it in the arena when we flood it? You're questioning the sharks, but you're not questioning how they flood the arena. Now, as a child, I have always heard about that they flooded the arena for naval stuff. I never thought that was real. Apparently that's a real thing, and this is the first time I'm actually seeing it on screen. It looks awesome. I'd like to see more of this. And you know what? Sharks sound like a cool idea. It's like having lions in the arena as Maximus was battling that other gladiator. I mean, it's a cool idea, but I feel like the ships might be too big. And just having one ship versus another ship, there's really not much you can do with that. Because I could just shoot a bunch of arrows at you and just kill all your guys, right? Like, what's the strategy here? Just ram them at full speed? That's what I would do. Like, right now, this battle just seems like an archery duel, and that's it. Yeah, I don't care if sharks historically were not discovered until, like, I don't know, 1,000 years later. It's still awesome. And that's all I care about. Why are you not just doing ramming speed? Like, wouldn't that be the best idea? Oh, look, we took away their oars as they're shooting us from close range now. Like, this isn't a big victory. Look, they're just they're right here. They're just gonna shoot them all, and that's the end of the fight. This shot right here looks beautiful. Again, this movie, it's so... I would say this is a bigger disappointment. I'm not saying it's worse than Joker 2, but this is a bigger disappointment than Joker 2. Because it is so beautiful. It is so well acted at times. The fight scenes are cool. It does a lot of things good on paper. It just doesn't make sense. What are you yelling at them? What directions are you giving? Ready to ram! Yeah, why wasn't ramming them the first thing you did? Double clothesline, awesome move. Yeah, this is when he should go full rage into it and just jump down with 2 swords and just kill the entire ship by himself. Sharks are awesome. I don't know why people were complaining about this. Oh, that's gotta be terrifying. That the ship is just coming closer to you every second. I really, again, at this point, does he think he's his father? Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. These people are crazy. Why are you not jumping the barrier right now? I mean, if your goal is to kill this dude, just jump the barrier and get him. He's right there. Your rage should not be holding you back. What do you mean the victor? There's still a lot of guys on that ship still fighting. I don't know if I heard that correctly. Did they say the victor is Hanno, whatever his name is? It's not even like the pretend Persians or whatever battle they're trying to recreate?
Who did this? It was me. I did it.
See, I like that. Now we're all a unit. It just feels like it's so unwarranted. That's what I feel, like the accolades that they're trying to bestow on Lucius of having the admiration and respect of all of his fellow gladiators, I feel like it's not earned. It still seems like it's him versus the world, and he's the only one getting any glory for it all, and I don't know, I feel just really weird about how they all love him so much, but I don't understand why they do.
Be glad it wasn't me at that hour who would have found you.
They should beat the shit out of him right now for his insolence. Denzel should be telling them to stop beating them right now. And also, he smiled at him. Like, I almost feel like these two, over this time, have gained a mutual respect for each other and may, dare I say, be friends later on. I don't know. That's the vibe I was getting this entire movie. Oh, yes, again, historians said that they don't have newspapers, so that was just a big problem with the movie.
Still here.
Look.
This guy's in debt for like 4,000 denarii or more than at this point, so is that a lot of money? It's a lot of money to a slave, but look at this house. Is it not worth that much money?
You know this is my house now.
So it is his house now.
Your debt to me is over 10,000 denarii.
How? How is it? It was 2,000, and then they went double or nothing, and now it's 10,000. What was he betting on every single game?
I have other things. Cattle.
Truth, then.
What?
Cattle and art. Wow, that's like the same thing.
What do you want?
Truth.
I like that. What do you want?
You have the Senator's trust. You have Lucilla's trust.
Denzel alluded, not alluded, he flat out said that he kissed a dude on the lips in this movie, and that they didn't have the balls to show it. I think this is when he kisses this dude straight on the lips, but they don't have it.
Loyalty.
I own your house.
Yeah, so I'm confused here. Is it like, hey, the debt is paid if you tell me what I want to know and you're just loyal to me?
I have heard of a plot.
A plot, you say? Go on.
To dethrone the Emperor.
Yes.
There's always a plot to dethrone the Emperor.
Gladiator is to be rescued from the arena tonight.
That's a lot of information that you know that you've been keeping to yourself.
I know why. I know who. Pat.
Why is he telling him that? I thought, I misunderstood this. I thought it was, I own your house, so now you are only loyal to me because I can kick you out whenever I want to. But then it's like, okay, pack your stuff and leave. Right, I might be misinterpreting what just happened here. Wouldn't it be that I still own your home, yet you are now indebted to me? So remember the original Gladiator movie when Maximus had that army that was waiting for him and they were trying to break him out and everything? They're just doing the same thing again. Because Pedro Pascal, doesn't he have an army of like 5,000 loyal troops to his name? And they're breaking him out? And also, did he not remember like a few minutes ago when Lucius shot a bolt at him? Did he not think that was meant for him? He's like, oh, did he talk to the mother and say, hey, your son kinda doesn't like me. Why is that? Oh, did she not tell him? Did she not tell him that, oh, he had a wife and she's dead because of you, apparently? Alright, I want to pause this so we can just take a look at these guys right here. Do you know where Pedro Pascal is right now? They all look the same, right? There's a reason why I paused it for a second. Boom! Got every single dude, shot him dead, and Pedro Pascal is the only one unharmed. And even as I'm pausing right here, you can't even tell it's him. They knew. How is that possible? Bro, at this point, just give up. You're not in control right now. Can you imagine if he did the hood and it's someone completely is like, oh shit. Well, we missed.
Thanks to the civic.
I love how fucked up he looks right now. Like Joseph Quinn looks all like prim and proper. He looks like he was out all night with the femboys.
Your insurrection has been revealed.
What exactly was the insurrection that was revealed? Because all Denzel knows is a plot. Look, that guy involved with the secret plan in underground with the other dude that was the Emperor in the first one? I forgot, but he would then be just as guilty, right? Because wouldn't you want just nothing but 100% loyal people? How do you tell the Emperors, yeah, I'm aware of a plot, they kind of had me in on it, and I know intricate details because I was with them, but I'm gonna tell you what's going on so you could spare me? You would think he's guilty too, right?
All this you have forfeited by your treachery.
Look how emotional he is right now. You're telling me Paul Mescal couldn't do that when learning that, hey, my father was a great gladiator? Again, love how fucked up Ed Sheeran looks.
Please, Emperor Data, torture me if you want.
I don't think it's up to you, bro.
But do not lecture me.
I'm sorry. You got the balls of Hercules to speak out right now like that.
You are damned, General.
Couldn't you guys just deny what happened? I mean, in all seriousness, they're like, hey, I heard you're here to take my throne and put this other guy. I was like, no, I'm not. Why would you think that? Who told you that? He could just say, hey, we're there to break out the Gladiator because it's my wife's bastard son, and she didn't want him dead, and she felt bad, and sorry, I broke him out. I did it for love. I didn't do it to upset you.
Time empires fall, so do emperors.
Get the hell out of here.
I will gut him! No.
He's my favorite he's the only character that I actually believe in this movie. You're telling me you're hearing that and you're not... And Joseph Quinn's not ready to rip this dude's throat out either? Like, have them killed right now. The younger brother, the smaller brother, I believe him more as an emperor right now.
He's dead, but...
just trying to swing still.
His entrails for the Satans and crucify her!
Right, he is showing what a tyrannical, I'm guessing what they're trying to portray as a tyrannical Rome dictator, stuff like that, but we don't really see that anywhere else in this movie, and that's what upsets me the most. We're not really seeing, remember what Game of Thrones, where I think it was King's Landing is what it was called, and the people were poor, and they were starving, and there was famine everywhere. Like, we got to see King's Landing from the people's points of views that were starving and everything was terrible for them. This one, we're just seeing high and mighty Roman society and everything's great, yet at the same time, you want me to believe that everything's so bad that we should usurp these two dudes.
Thank you, Macronus.
It's what I do.
I have come to think of you not as a subject, but as a true friend.
Which is why Denzel should be your general and not Pedro Pascal, because it doesn't even seem like Pedro even likes war. He's like, hey, I want to go hang out with my wife. I don't want to take over Persia and India now. I want to stop doing war. He's talking to his wife about it. Denzel is the guy. He's the guy you want in your corner. Because he's like, screw it, just go take everything. Love that.
Let the gods decide his fate.
And see, that's how he did it. He got Lucius, the fight that he promised them this whole time. That should have been their relationship. Not master and slave. It should have been two people working together towards a common goal, and that's it. And they really didn't portray it that well in this.
Last night I woke dreaming of a dark river.
Again, these two just talk forever.
When a rebel gladiator dies, we bury them here.
When a rebel gladiator dies, we bury him here. Why? That doesn't really seem and also, who are you people to have your own catacombs? This isn't your house. You're slaves here, and you just have a room to honor gladiators that rebelled against the government? What would the government do if they found out about this? Again, these things are penises, right? They look exactly way too phallic shaped.
Oh, his treason, General Eustace Acacius!
I'm curious about this. How much do the people know what's going on with this? Because you would think, because of course they're a little bit upset that their general is being put to death, but do they know that he's technically a traitor, right? They should not be this upset about this. He's trying to kill the emperors of Rome, right? Yeah, they seem to be. If I'm wrong here, let me know. But it sounds like they're chanting his name, and he's clearly a traitor. Why are they not explaining this more? I love the cinematography in this. I love the way it's filmed. I don't exactly know what the Oscar would be called, but man, it deserves it. This thing deserves to be flushed with Oscars. It's just the story. It's so dumb. And some of the moments are so poorly done. But I don't know, man. I'm looking at this right now. I'm like, this is beautiful. This is so cool, these scenes. And they just dropped the ball way too many times for my liking. I love this. He bowed, they bowed, and as they're in mid-bow, he attacks them. Total Joe move. Total Joe move. They're not even expecting it. Wow, awesome. Really well done fight. Problem is, a lot of the fights in this movie, I think they're way too quick, but I thought this was really cool. It's like, so, do I get to live now? It's like, you fucked up, right? You're like, we're gonna send more dudes at him. I love Joseph Quinn's face looking at her.
Any honor I have, I will give it to you.
It's too late.
The room!
And also, you're a little bit too old and not a femboy for my taste. Okay, this is egg on my face. I was 100% wrong about this, okay? people reacting to the trailer said that it gave up way too much away. And I said, there is no way. When I saw these two in the trailer fighting it out, I was telling people, like, there is no way this is the final fight of the movie. Also, we're still like 45 minutes from the ending of this movie. I was telling people, there is no way this is the final fight. I said what's going to probably happen, and again, I'm 100% wrong on this. I thought it was going to be Pedro Pascal fighting those soldiers, and then Hanno Lucius, whatever his name is, jumps the barrier and fights him, loses, and then later on we get the final battle. That's what I thought that's the way I thought this movie was going to play out. At this point in the movie, after this scene, I knew nothing. I would never be able to figure out where the direction this movie was going.
I am a vessel.
Again, I love Joseph Quinn in this. Also, all the penises, a little bit too much for my taste. But I just love how he goes into this. I am a vessel for the gods.
Vanquish the betrayer.
It's like, okay, let's be real about this for a second. Let's say Pedro Pascal kills him. You don't think you could just shoot him with an arrow right now and execute him? Wouldn't that be just like the simplest thing? Okay, he should be talking to him as they're this close and telling him like, "Hey, does he think he might be his father? I don't know." Again, choreography very well done. You know what the problem is? I'm watching this and I'm thinking this is really cool. I'm starting to like this movie more the second time than the first time. I still think it had a lot of problems. It's just, I don't know. Is this a movie that maybe you have to watch it a couple times to really get it? Why are you not talking to him? Why are you not explaining the situation of what's going on here?
I know who you are. Lucius Ferris Aurelius.
How does that... What does that matter? At this point, I'm thinking, are these two going to band together and take down the emperors together? Take down Denzel? Take down the whole Roman army? I don't know. I expected even as cliche as that would have sounded, I expected that more than what actually happened.
Have rendered their judgment.
You know, I would have liked maybe if he was on drugs. Like every time he would give that thumbs up or thumbs down, he would just maybe inhale something and his eyes would roll back and then he'd make his decision. Because it just seems like he's going full crazy mode here. And we didn't get any of that before.
I love you, Mother Lucilla.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, that's not the problem here. The problem is you got my wife killed. That's why I'm mad at you. Did we forget this part of that's the plot of the movie, the revenge of it, that I'm after this dude's head? How come none of that was talked about during the fight? There were many moments where they're locking swords and whatever Pedro Pascal had, like a staff or something like that. There were many times where they locked up. They could have done some talking and some character development or something. Maybe have them, I don't know, dare I say, in side-by-side cells or something? Just talking? I don't know. I just feel like you dropped the ball with this scene as well.
And your father, Maximus.
So he knows that I may have misunderstood all this part from the beginning, but was he promised to the mother as a child? And then she had a kid? And then he was like, sure, I'll marry her still, even though she provided no heirs at all, and she has a bastard son, which may be from her brother. And they didn't drunk Denzel and the other guy were talking about that she entertained a bunch of lovers? I thought, before he dropped his sword, that maybe he was gonna pretend to stab him and tell him, okay, let's take them down together. I don't know. I thought we were gonna go in that direction. I really hate how people just accept death. I don't like that. The honor of, I'll just kneel down here and accept this. Like, you do know that your wife is gonna be killed, right? There's no fight in you. There's no Let's do this together. Let's save your mother. Hey, I've wronged you. I'm sorry. It's not about you and me. We have to save your mother from them. We have to do this together. We have to make amends. It's just, no, I'm just going to kneel down and just die. And, you know, whatever happens to her, it's whatever. I don't like that at all. Give me, like, masculine dudes that are vengeful and want to fight for things again. These are, like, the best archers ever. This arrow came from here, right past them. I'm pretty certain that this is a dummy. And they're just firing arrows at him. Yeah, because he didn't move. That was a dummy. And they shot arrows at Pedro Pascal. And he's just sitting there. He's just sitting there accepting this. Like, after the first arrow should have happened, maybe he should have jumped at him to protect him or something. What does he think's going to happen to him now? Because he just defied the rules of the Emperor, which were given by the gods. They said the gods have spoken. No! And you're just watching this dude die and you're cool with it? No emotion whatsoever in his face. This should be a moment where all the rage, we should have had him as this vengeful, rageful child this entire time. And then right now, all the fight should be taken out of him. Just all of it in a second. He realized this guy sacrificed himself for him in a way. And his dying words about his love for his mother and his father. Right now it should be, shit. Am I the bad guy?
Oh, damn you!
What? You should shut your mouth. You're next. We're gonna put... Also, I hate this part. Why are they firing at the people? What is this guy gonna do?
Is this how Rome treats its heroes?
Is this how Rome treats its heroes? No, it's not. This is how Rome treats its traitors. You do realize, again, why he's being executed, right? He's a traitor.
If his life has no value, what are yours worth?
I'm not a traitor, bro. I'm not gonna find myself in the arena. So I don't have to worry about stuff like that. And also, we're like an hour and a half into this. I thought this was gonna be the finale. Like, right now I thought the people of Rome were all gonna band together and attack, and it's gonna be some giant climactic fight. We don't get that until way later.
The gods have spoken!
He's gonna be the biggest meme of the year. I'm not even saying it's bad acting. It's just, he's so memeable at this point. I love it. Why are you guys so upset again? He's a traitor. And also, look at it. We got thumbs up. We got thumbs down. They don't know what to believe. Who is the prissy one with the umbrella here?
Return to the palace.
Why? Why are the people should not be this upset about this. This is a traitor that was killed. Yeah, I would have liked if they were on drugs the entire time. And we're just slowly seeing their descent into madness. I thought that would have been a good feature to have and kind of explain a lot of things with this. Like, well, that didn't go as planned. What happened? I gave you this man. I gave you him on a silver platter. And you just chose not to kill him? What was the point of any of this?
We had a bargain.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit upset too.
I gave him to you.
Wow, I almost did this line for line. He should be upset about this.
My will is my own.
No, it's not. Your will is what I allow it to be at the time. You have no will. I can have you killed right now, easily. And also, why didn't you kill him? Because you bought a slave and not a gladiator, whatever the hell he just said was. Doesn't matter. The whole arrangement was that you wanted to kill him. And also, you did you forgive him for the death of your wife? Did you forget about her?
Strong strike down. There has to be something else. There is nothing else. There has to be another Rome.
What does it? No, shut up. Rome is good. Rome is good. You guys are the ones making it bad. It's almost like the movie Training Day when he's talking to Ethan Hawke and he's like, oh, it can't be like this. Like, it is. This is how it is. I'm sorry. You might not be cut out for this.
It can't be like this.
It is this way, man. I'm sorry I exposed you to it, but it is. It's ugly, but it's necessary.
What was your name before you traded it for a Roman one?
Who cares? He's doing better off now than he was in Africa.
You'll never know.
I don't know why it's a secret. I don't understand that for a second.
You will be my instrument.
I will never be your instrument in this life or the next.
You already are. What? We're like an hour and a half. We're an hour and 43 into this movie. This is all his doing. You have no free will whatsoever. And also, where do you get to stand on your high? Oh, it'll never be an instrument for you. What have you been doing the entire time?
That will not be my destiny, but I will see your end.
There was a scene missing. There was a scene missing there. Those two scenes do not make any sense at all. So there is a director's cut that's going to be released one day, 3.5 hours, and this movie's going to be a 10 out of 10. That's what I think is going to happen. Here we have Rome. The Roman citizens are pissed off about something. I don't know what they're pissed off about. Honestly, you should not be pissed off that a traitor general is dead. A man that's trying to usurp the thrones of Rome. So what are you guys upset about?
Don't you hear them? They're calling for our heads.
Why are they calling for your heads? Because you had a literal traitor executed for being a traitor? And also, you have the armies of Rome. The finest legion in the land. What are you nervous about here? And again, I would have liked if they were on some kind of drugs. So again, we could see the descent into madness. And also, I wish we were able to legally buy monkeys. I don't know why that's not a thing in America. Or if it is, my wife certainly won't let me have one.
The disease that infects his loins is spread to his brain.
Okay, so it is like syphilis. The disease that affects his loins is spread to his brain. Yet, you're the one freaking out here. And he's kind of the calm, cool, and collective. There's no consistency with this movie. That's the biggest problem. The only consistent character in this is Denzel. I'm sorry. What has happened? What are you gonna gain by attacking these heavily armed Roman soldiers? Oh my gosh, they're actually beating them.
Alright, you go. Now.
I bet that was actually like an unscripted thing. The monkey just climbed on Denzel and jumped over the other guy.
Nothing's ever mine. Everything is ours, always.
Means to blame you.
That's a lie! He always lies!
I think they went from 0 to 100 way too quickly here. I wish a lot of this... Again, this feels like a first draft. Because as I'm watching, I'm thinking, well, we never really got the brother versus brother dynamic. We never really got him silencing his voice and everything like that. It just seems like we could have gotten more of that. With an extra, dare I say, hour of this movie. Maybe even 2 parts. Maybe even make it 2 parts this movie. Because I heard Ridley Scott wants to make a 3rd one.
What will they do to Dondas?
You better not touch Dondas. I will burn down every house in Rome if that monkey gets killed.
What will they do to Dondas?
That is all the if you were telling me that someone's gonna come for my animals, oh, it's on. Oh, look at that. Look how cute he is in his little Roman robes. I hope he took them. I hope after the movie was over, he's like, I'm gonna buy this monkey. Whatever you want for it, I'm taking him. What is happening? Let's just again. As I keep harping on this point, why are they rioting? Oh, the general was executed. The general who was a traitor. Did they not explain this to the people? That this man has secretly been conspiring? And also, if they're saying, hey, Rome is a cesspool right now, it's crap, everyone hates it, people are poor, it's like, you haven't shown that. And that's what you could have done with some of this movie. Show us what's going on in Rome.
Put down the blade.
I don't know, my first instinct would be that he's gonna go attack the people, not attack me.
Lie.
Give it to me.
You always lie.
Give it to me.
I gasped out loud when that happened in the theater. Man, he's been planning this since the beginning. He's just chilling in his cell, just, watching the sunrise and all that. Not a care in the world.
This ring, I gave it to Acacius for his valor.
What? So you gave away my ring? Wouldn't that be something that as he's going on the horse and she's getting rid of him forever, just give him the ring of always remember who you are and where you're from and wherever. It's like with him and his wife, they gave each other the rings and they're like, hey, wherever you are, I will always be with you. Wouldn't this be the same exact thing?
I'm truly sorry for our cases.
Did he forgive him for killing his wife?
They lived and died for Rome. We all do.
They all lived and died for Rome, but it didn't really benefit Rome at all. Okay, the first emperor died by Joachim's hand, okay? Then Joachim took over. Things got really bad. And then Maximus died after killing him, and then what happened? Rome for, 16 years got worse? Why? And how? And if it's so bad, how do you possibly have the funds to outfit an army to go take down Persia and India and other places?
Is it true they intend to kill you?
Yes, I am a traitor. Also, how do you have the liberty to walk around and go to cells at your own free will? Shouldn't you be locked up or something? Why are you wearing Roman garbs? Like, you're a prisoner.
The Senate to appoint my first consul. Functions of the Empire.
Wow, he's gonna appoint someone to be his right-hand man. He's gonna be controlling all of these things. Denzel, you have earned this. He is going to appoint you right now in front of all these people, because you know what? You are the man here. Give the man his flowers.
Citizen Dondos!
I swear to you, we are at 1 hour 51 minutes. When I saw this happen in theaters, I wanted to leave. All of the interest for this movie was gone. And the only thing that kept me there, watching the rest of this movie, was the fact that I wanted to give you a review of this.
Hail Dondos!
Like, what the fuck? The worst part is that they have to go along with this. You know, it's funny, because normally, monkeys are not in charge of cities, just like a very, very special movie called C.I. Ape. And it's funny, because apes aren't normally in the CIA, which makes it so humorous, because he's an ape in the CIA. Also, I highly recommend that movie.
Hail Dondas.
Hail Dondos!
Okay. Listen, man, that owes over 20 billion denarii. You better start clapping when Denzel says, Hail Dondas. This is where the movie should have ended. Like, can you imagine if this was the cliffhanger of the movie? It just said, okay, we're gonna make it a third movie.
As second consul, I name...
He's thinking, he's like, is he actually gonna name me?
Macronus!
Oh. They're like, okay, thank God he got that one right. he names a toilet bowl his third in command. What is this guy's... He must have syphilis or something. Can you imagine? He named like another inanimate object in the third chair. And also, the part about the sickness to his loin has affected his brain. Do you see how fast that line happened? That if you would have just misheard it for a second, like if someone sneezed next to you, you wouldn't have heard it. That's a big problem I have with this movie, that major plot details are just glossed over really quickly, but other things, like Hail Dondas, we'll just spend 30 seconds on that one.
And mass executions!
Come on, Dondas, we have a world to destroy. He's like, okay, let's get serious for a second here. This guy's gonna be killed tomorrow. Look at this guy clutching his pearls back there. I love the reactions.
I must have power over the Praetorian army.
But doesn't Dondas have command? What are you gonna usurp Dondas? Are you insane? Yeah, you should have jumped up the second he raised his hand.
Rome must fall.
Why?
I need only give it a push.
How and why?
The best revenge is to become unlike the one who did the injury.
This whole thing, you have been holding onto a grudge for like 40 years? Get over it.
It's the law of the strongest.
Oh, isn't that like the basis of Rome? I remember in a history class, if you were a citizen of Rome, that was a big deal. Because I heard, let's say I was out for a walk and I got robbed, they would send a legion to where I got robbed and kill everything within like a 5-mile radius. So being a citizen of Rome was a huge, big deal and such an honor because you had the entire city on your side. And Rome has always been known, before it finally fell, it's been known as the baddest place in the world. The baddest motherfuckers in the world were in Rome. They can rule the entire world if they wanted to. And everyone would fall to them. So, I don't know where Denzel gets off saying that, oh, my vision of Rome is the strong and the powerful, when it's always been that.
Now I control an empire.
Oh no, you're sad, tragic. We get it, you were a slave, get over it. Now you're literally head to toe in jewelry. You could have legions of femboys at your door, at your beck and call. Things are pretty good now.
Do you recognize your father's mark on me?
Yes, you were a slave at one point, and look at you now. So again, is your plan here to destroy the very place that you're just so desperate to conquer and rule over? Because you can't burn Rome to the ground and rule it at the same time. I think the scene with her and her son should have happened after this. Shouldn't it have been, hey, I just want to say goodbye to my son, and he'll say, like, oh, I'll let that happen? Wouldn't that have made more sense? It seems like just, yeah, those two scenes seem like they're filmed out of order. What does her death matter? Just, I'm sitting here fully knowing how this movie goes, and I'm just thinking, how does it do anything? She's a traitor of Rome. She's a woman. It's not like she's the emperor of Rome. She's just the former emperor's daughter. Her son, you can't prove that he is Lucius. All you have is a ring and a story. It doesn't mean anything. So what claim does she have to doing anything? And why would she remotely stop Denzel's plan?
I'm asking you to risk yourself, my friend, in the service of something greater.
You are asking a lot of a man that you just kind of forced the relationship in. You forced this relationship of, oh, he's a mentor, a philosophical friend that lends his ear. Just, you're asking this dude to risk everything for... Isn't he a slave too? Like, how is he just gonna go to this army? And also, just like with the first movie, just like with the original Gladiator, Maximus just had this army that was sitting there ready to go. Now Lucius somehow has an army. Oh, I guess it's Pedro Pascal's army, but what does it matter? Give the ring. Okay, like, hey, this guy wants our armies here. Who's leading us? Lucius? Oh, I thought he was dead. No, he lives. Can you prove it?
I'm Lucius Verus Aurelius, Prince of Rome.
Was Rome always like this, where every second of the day there were just armies just chilling out in the middle of nowhere, just waiting, and like just waiting for the rebellion to happen, and just ready to overthrow the current regime or something? I don't know. It doesn't really seem like Rome could function if this was a thing.
I need your keys.
They're gonna hang this dude by his dick if he gets caught. You can't just give the key. Also, who is this man that he has just free will of the keys and could just leave whenever he wants to? You two of the worst guards ever. Okay, should any of these people be concerned with what's going on here? I'm sorry. Why did you just push that guy, and why didn't he take your head in a second? Oh, I don't want that. You just spit on it.
Who gave you this? Lucius Lewis, there it is.
I believe you wholeheartedly, random man. That is the arrow that was inside of his girlfriend. Where did he smuggle that arrow?
Up his ass. Then he died of dysentery.
So they got everyone, like all the dudes in the conspiracy. They just rounded them all up instantly.
A stranger, Lucius. You will never know peace.
I like that. Must I kill her? Yes, you will never know peace. I don't really get why he needs her dead.
People love her. Death will incite them more.
If she dies and the streets rise up in anger, I shall deliver them Caracalla's head, and the people shall acclaim me. That, my friend, is politics.
Oh, you just thought of everything. Like, how long... This is Training Day Denzel. When Ethan Hawke says, you planned this all day, he's like, I planned this all week.
You've been planning this all day?
I've been planning it all week, son. Shall we?
Yes.
Yeah, let's grab a drink. You know, a couple of boy girls, make a day of this.
And our master has bestowed on you the wooden sword of freedom.
I completely misinterpreted their relationship this entire movie. I thought there was just a mutual respect between these guys. Sure, I didn't like him in the beginning. He punched me with the gloves with the spikes on them. Maybe later on they could learn to be friends or something. Yeah, I thought they were going to be bros by the end of this.
Still a point is still a point!
Shut up, you weird poet. You can wear the armor, but you are not him. They tried so hard this whole movie, all the symbolism of the first movie, to make him into Maximus. It's like they forgot how to make movies. And before the movie even started, there was a little quick video right before, after the previews, where it was Pedro Pascal, Paul Mescal, and Joseph Quinn, and they were just looking at the camera and thanking the audience and saying, hey, we really appreciate you guys coming out to seeing our movie the way it's intended on the big screen. We hope you enjoyed. Again, thank you for supporting our vision and the movie. And I thought that was a really nice thing to do. The problem is, you tried to make Gladiator 1 just 20 years later. And it doesn't work. You could put him in the armor. He ain't Maximus. You could have the exact same setups as Russell Crowe's character went through. It doesn't work. And it's even weirder because it's Ridley Scott doing both of these movies, and he should know. He should really know the difference and how to make a really good character. Excuse me, isn't there like an air of, I don't know, let's get this show on the road? We got things to do. My mother's captured. We have the armies of Rome coming. I don't have time to laze about here. Where are the rest of the gladiators? What are they up to? Dondus! They're helping her up. This woman is really getting the royal treatment. This guy's helping her up the staircase. A traitor to the throne of Rome. Like, she looks good, too. She's got her makeup, her jewelry, her robes are all nice. They should have just, not saying beat her up, though, but she should look like crap. Her hair should be down. They should not be giving her the honor of dying looking good. Don't you want to humiliate her and show people, hey, this is what happens if you go against the throne? And isn't that the slave that kind of turned her in? I don't understand why she's a part of this now.
I'm not a general.
You are also not Maximus.
You can join me.
Isn't that why we're all here? Shouldn't he be having this speech with them after they just kind of broke out and killed all the guards? It kind of feels like, yeah, we are all ready for this.
And fight for a freedom far beyond these walls.
Wouldn't that have been... I think that would have been a better idea. The guy gave him the keys, and then he unlocks himself, and then gives this speech while walking up and down the roads and seeing the guys in the cages and telling them, this is your future, or you can join me. And then he just starts unlocking all the doors, and then it cuts to the next day. Wouldn't that have been more impactful than this speech of, hey, you can join me as you're all here, head to toe in armor, wielding weapons, ready to go? This is kind of like we're already ready to do this, bro.
Once was a time when honor meant something in Rome.
That time is still here. Why do you hate Rome so much? I don't get it.
And know this!
Who is this guy in the mask? What a stupid mask. You can't even see.
Well, I can't see in this fucking thing. I can't breathe in this fucking thing, and I can't ride in this fucking thing.
Straight to mother!
Was that a quote from... I know his mother said that to him as she was leaving, but was that a quote from the first one or something? Who is this tiny... Who is this guy? Look how small he is. What exactly is this fight that he has to do? He has to fight a bunch of guards? See, this is the problem when you kill Pedro Pascal and did not make him the ultimate badass. I don't really have much investment in this fight because obviously it's not going to be with Denzel right now. It's going to be against just nameless guards, and we should have gotten at least someone else that we could recognize that was like, oh good, finally got him. Maybe, dare I say, the guy that he killed with the wooden sword. I am so confused here. So, the final test is that he has to fight, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, plus 48, 49, 50, and 51 dudes. Is that what's about to happen right now? Because that's what it looks like to me as I'm watching this. It's like, is this the final test? You have to fight 51 guys by yourself. If he was rageful, maybe I'd believe it. He's looking around like, this could be a problem here. Yeah, what was supposed to happen if these guys didn't run out? He's like, oh, Your Highness, this isn't good.
The army of Acacius is advancing just outside of Rome, sir.
Well, shit. I like how Denzel has zero reaction to this.
We can still outflank them.
This Mondays, am I right?
How many are we? 6,000, perhaps more.
How many do we have? 6,000, maybe more? Do you not know? You should know how many people you have. What do you think these people are gonna rush the stadium? What are you aiming at them for? This part, I hated. It made no sense to me whatsoever. I really hate that they wasted an actor that I really liked. Really liked him in the first one. Overall, his career, I really like it. But you had him in here. And this dude decided, hey, around us is like 100 slaves. And they're wiping us out. I'm gonna go kill the old man that has no idea what's going on. That's this dude's priority right now. Man, we are getting slaughtered. I'm gonna even the odds by killing this old, small, little, frail guy. Unbelievable. This is why Rome is terrible. Oh, what was that woman possibly doing? Look at this guy over here. It's like, maybe I'll just quiet down. Yeah, see, I understand the sentiment here. Is that Rome's people are more powerful than all the armies and stuff like that. If the people revolt, it's like V for Vendetta. The government should be afraid of their people. I get that. I understand the message. The problem is, you haven't shown it to me of why the people would revolt. Why would they be angry at the emperors? Why would they want to burn down the Senate? Why are they outside chanting? Why are they so upset that their traitor general was killed? You didn't show that to me. You just told me. Oh, what a way to go, man. Damn, what a shot, Denzel. Oh, damn, I better break off the end of this bow and also keep it with the other arrow.
Up his ass.
Again, why did he need to have her killed? I never really understood that, of why that was such a big part of his plan. Shouldn't it have been maybe he shot the bow and then maybe threw it to the Emperor? And he's like, oh, that guy killed my mother. I'm going to go kill him? What is his plan right now? Just getting the hell out of here? You've won already. You've won. You have everything. What are you doing now? You're going to go out there and fight an army and flee? Oh, here we go, guys. Two massive armies meeting in the middle. Man, this is like Gangs in New York, that scene from Kingdom of Heaven. We are going to get the biggest battle you've ever seen in your entire life. What is he doing? He looks so confused. What do you expect to happen out here? Also, wait a second. Is he running through all of these Roman guards that he just slaughtered a bunch of them and they're just letting them go through?
Nothing killed this barbarian. I fight to free Rome from men like you and to return it to them.
It's already to them. What's the problem? Why did that other guard tell him to stop? Like, aren't you on Denzel's side here? Why? Because he said a name? It's like, wow, I guess that might be that kid from 16 years ago? Now, obviously, guys, I don't even know why we're even bother watching this fight. We're talking about a seasoned killer, gladiator, warrior here, fighting 70-year-old Denzel. Like, should I even... I might just turn this off right now. But you know what? We got a few minutes. Let's watch this fight and watch him just absolutely kill Denzel in 2 seconds. Nope, actually, he's kicking his ass. Yeah, 70-year-old Denzel whooping this guy. I love that. Kick the sand in his face. Okay, if I'm choreographing this, Homo Lucius, he already should have an injury right now. An injury that Denzel has exploited. Maybe poison arrow or something, or maybe like what Gladiator 1. Joaquin Phoenix knew he couldn't beat Russell Crowe on his own. What did he do? He stabbed him. He stabbed him and said, okay, put his armor on, cover up the wound. So he was already at 50% health when that match started. This one, no. He should be injured by something, and Denzel is exploiting his weakness and his illness or whatever. And that's how he has the upper hand, but you cannot straight up beat him in a fight. What is this armor made of? Why are our troops not wearing this stuff? It's impenetrable. I wonder if there's like a symbolism here, like the horses are protecting them or something, because really, this armor is really thick, apparently. Oh, it's like the scene in Training Day where he got shot in the ass.
You shot me in the ass.
You really had it all, man. You really did have it all. And if you wouldn't have killed his mother, like, you would have been fine. Again, why did you need to kill her? I don't know. And you guys really just stood by and watched this happen. Same thing with the... Wow. Same symbolism like the original Gladiator. When Joaquin was telling his troops, hey, I need a sword, they're like, oh, sheath your swords, don't give them one. It's like, why? Why are you turning on the Emperor of Rome all of a sudden? Give a speech. Also, what happened to Dondas? Is he... Oh, technically Dondas is in control of Rome.
I know not what to say other than we have all known too much death.
Shut up. Shut up. Don't give a speech. Also, why... I don't understand why there's no fight in both of these armies. Aren't you guys here for a reason? They're putting down their flags like, yeah, he's right.
A dream that my father died for.
Not really. It's kind of a... Maximus was mostly about a revenge thing. He wasn't really doing this for the future of Rome. He was kind of getting revenge on everyone.
Rebuild that dream.
I'm telling you, people. I felt like a hostage watching this movie. Like, I just wanted to get the hell out of there. Even with the final battles and everything and Denzel's demise, I was so bored. I'm like, I don't know what's going on in this movie. I don't know anything. I just want to leave. And then he just keeps talking.
What say you?
What say you? They all just charge each other and slaughter down to the last man. I'm trying to think of where I heard this from. It might have been Pitch Meeting, Falcon the Winter Soldier, where they're talking about, hey, they want to redistribute wealth, and you could use a cell phone, and you could stop a deforestation in a second, and you could bring all these things to these people. He's kind of talking the giant broad strokes, but he's not really explaining what the problems are with Rome.
Okay, but logistically, what are we supposed to do here? And Sam's gonna be like, do better, Senator. That does sound like it's gonna help a lot.
Like, there's tyranny, there's this, like, yeah, but we haven't seen it. And if you're watching this movie, can you really point out where there's, the people are being screwed over? From what I'm looking at, like, they're giving them games and attractions and everything. Like, everything's good there. There's really no problems with Rome right now. And also, I don't believe Denzel's army that they don't want war right now. You would think they're all on his side, right? That they all want this because he's leading them. The entire Senate's with it too. Who's in charge of Rome right now? Realistically, I'm not even joking. Okay, Dondus would be in charge of Rome, right? I was gonna say Maximus. Lucius is not in charge of Rome. They say he's the prince of Rome when he has a ring, but can you prove it's him? Would the Senate allow him? He's not a leader, really. He's not a politician. How can you elect him? Again, this is the last 4 minutes of this movie. I was ready to run out of there. I was ready to run out of the theater. That is the first time I've ever felt that way watching a movie. Especially a movie that I would have said this and Nosferatu were the only movies I'm actually excited to see in theaters all year.
Speak to me, Father.
What a terrible time for an advertisement. But how are they ending this movie? The same way the last one did, with Russell Crowe just walking through his barley and, I don't know, grain fields, and he's at peace and stuff like that. Just bad comparison to the first one. Thank the gods that it's over. Man, like I said, I have never wanted to leave a movie faster than this movie. It did so many things right. Casting, thought it was great. Even though, like I said, Paul Mescal was not the biggest man on screen. Certainly wasn't the most ripped. You could have done a little bit better with that. I think he did a good job acting. Joseph Quinn, and I want to make sure I get his name right. Fred Hincher. I mean, casting-wise, acting-wise, I don't think there were really any problems I had. Just the story. Man, they dropped the ball with everything. I'm not even giving massive deep dive criticisms of it. Just a lot of the plot just didn't make much sense. A lot of it was just really convenience, and just overall, I don't really understand what Denzel was getting at. He wanted to just destroy Rome, and just be let back in and be like, hey, I'll fix. Wow, what a crazy comparison of politics today. Hey, elect me. I will fix all the problems that I created. You can trust me. But I think the biggest problem is the theme of rage and fury and vengeance. I almost feel like they, neutered Lucius early on in this. We never got that full Hulking rage. We never got Wolverine Berserker mode. They just seem like they talked more about these themes than actually showing them. Talking about how let's bring back the prosperity of Rome and bring it back to the people, yet we never saw it. The two brothers fight and they explained it, but we never really saw it. If I didn't point out that he put his arm in front of his other brother, it was a 2-second thing. You wouldn't really have noticed it. Didn't really have much meaning until, an hour and a half later on? I don't know, I feel like this movie dropped the ball in many ways. Said before, it's going to get a lot of Oscar nominations. Denzel's probably the only one acting-wise I can see getting the nomination. But costume, set design, cinematography, it deserves it. I don't think this movie's going to make its money back. I think it's going to have to make at least $600-700 million just to break even. And I don't see that happening. I think a lot of people went into this movie nitpicking way too much. Like I said, the trailer had rap music in it. That was one of the big complaints people had when it first came out. The historians talking about the amount of horns on the rhinos, and there's no sharks in Rome, and no newspapers and cafes. Just, I've never really seen a nitpicking campaign against a movie like this one. People were saying, of course, unnecessary sequel. I don't buy into that at all. The first Alien movie was fantastic. You didn't need a sequel. The sequel is one of the best action movies ever made at that time. Look how many Die Hard movies we had. Look how many Lethal Weapon movies we had. Look how many Predator movies we had. I mean, the list goes on and on here. And even with today, Inside Out 2, unnecessary sequel, billion-dollar movie. So if it worked, and if it was popular, and it was the best movie of the year, as the radio station commercials have said, then no one would ever say unnecessary sequel attached to this movie ever again. People would be saying, this is one of the best movies of the year, we should get a third one out of it. Dare I say, even a cinematic universe of it. Because if we can get a bunch of John Wick movies and then a bunch of spin-offs, and those movies are kind of okay, I'm not really that invested in the John Wick series. It's just really cool creative kills, and that's about it. So if this one would have came out there and would have been the best movie of the year, there might be a Gladiator cinematic universe. And you know what? I kind of would have been for that. But I don't see this movie making much of a profit if it actually does, which that's a tall ask. So Ridley Scott was saying he wants to make a third one. I don't see that happening. More importantly, I don't really see a point of it happening. Because if Lucius is in charge, do you think he's going to really have public execution in gladiatory games? So if he is leading Rome into the future, a Rome of peace and prosperity and free men and women and stuff like that, do you really see the arena being opened up and having gladiatory battles happen and slaves being forced into their public executions? I don't see any of that happening, man. So Gladiator, it will be Gladiator in title alone, and that's it. No Colosseums, no nothing. Think it was a good attempt? As I said, I believe this is a good first draft at best. You know what? I might try to do a rewrite of this entire movie, of how I would do it. I'd like to do a lot of that going forward. I don't want this channel just to be about complaining about movies and recommending ones I like. I want to actually maybe do something more with that. So I'm debating how exactly the minutiae are going to go. I might just buy some AI generated material so I can make my own stuff. I don't know. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. I'd love to hear what you think about that. But I would like to rewrite a lot of these movies and just show what we could have gotten out of it. But that's my review of Gladiator 2. There's not much to recommend with this movie. I'm sorry. I jumped into this movie ready to say it was movie of the year. I defended it when I saw the trailer online to people. I said it looks great. I don't know what people are talking about. And as I was watching, I could not get out of that theater any faster. And like I said, if it wasn't for review purposes, I would have left. But in the end, let me know what you guys think about that.
No mercy, no retreat, until justice assails unfurl. In the echoes of battle, where vengeance we unfurl. I am the reaper, Rome's pain and its breath, the instrument of death, the scourge of his crest. With each strike of my blade, I forge fate's decree, avenge the fallen, set my soul free.